because I'm a very loud individual, yes, and sometimes small things will remind me of this man, and I will just shut down and walk off, yes. And a lot of people say, he's just being withdrawn, he's an introvert, what? I'm a very extroverted person, but sometimes it gets to a point, I'll even be scrolling through TikTok, and then there's a time, best example was, there was a time when I was scrolling through TikTok, and then the guys at D-Rain's church, the guys, I think it's Love Ministries, the Pastor Dalton's church, I don't know if he's a pastor or an apostle or whatever, forgive me, I don't know the title, but first we know him as D-Rain, the musician. They were singing, "It is well with my soul," that hymn, and it was my dad's favorite hymn, so I'm scrolling through TikTok, and then that hymn kind of pops up, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I was in a slouch for like 3 days. I didn't want to talk to nobody, I didn't want to see nobody, I didn't want to eat anything, and after the 3 days, guess what? I was better because I went to a concert the next fucking day. Yeah? So it doesn't, when someone tells somebody it gets better, I look at this individual and I'm like, why are you lying? Why are you lying? Yes? And even when we talk about some of these issues, yes, it's easy for girls to bring this issue to the table. And it's very sad that we are in a generation where they have set a particular way that you're supposed to look, act, say. If you're too emotional, you're a little too cringe. When you're not emotional, you're nonchalant. When you're like, everything has to have a name, yes? And we forget that these are just basic emotions. These are just the way people feel. And also another thing that I think I should say before we kind of digress and end this conversation. When it's family and when the loss is like within the family, it is easier for you to have somebody to lean on. And this is not me assuming that everyone has a support system, but when it's a family member that has passed away, there is going to be a support system that one can fall back on, yes? But when it's a friend, and more so in like the friend group that we have, and it's something that we're still struggling through, we're trying to work through some of these things, is there's not really somebody responsible to talk to, because all of you are dealing with that loss, eh? Like there's no mature person. So, and even the mature one is also going through it, you get? So, you find yourselves in this conundrum, for lack of better words, where all of you are trying to figure this grief thing out, and you end up just staying in the first stage, which is denial, or you find yourself staying in the stage of bargaining. Yeah, you keep saying the what if I had noticed, what if on that party I asked more questions, what if, and there's so many what ifs that are filled there, and you're just stuck at that one stage. And also I think the demand, and this is for people who have people around them that are grieving, I ask that we stop assuming that just because you dealt with your grief and you've moved on, moved on is a bit of an extra, but you have managed to mentally deal with the grief, you assume that everybody is going to grieve on your own timeline. Grief, I think after speaking to certain people that were in my dad's life at the time, including my mom, my aunties, some of my uncles, is that it's not a switch of, oh, okay, died, buried, there's a timeline. After 6 months, you're done grieving, go to the next thing. It's a continuous thing. And when certain people bring up like these conversations of, oh, that person is a little too much, yeah, you kind of contribute to the heart that they're going through, yes? Best example would be, from my personal experience, my dad's birthday was supposed to be April 15th, and I remember that day was such a busy day for me, it didn't cross my mind that, oh, my dad would actually be turning a particular age on this particular day. And when it clocked, and the way it clocked is my mom texted me and said, oh, did you celebrate him today? I was like, oh yeah, I did. And that particularly, I think, was a lie. And because I lied about that, I felt so guilty. that I felt in my mind that, oh, you've moved on so much that you don't even remember his birthday. So I text up my aunt and I tell her, oh, I don't want to be that child that somehow forgets that they had this particular parent in their life and they moved away. And my aunt sort of brought me to this place of understanding that not every day will be the same. Yes, there are times I'll sit in my room and then sort of like look at a picture, because Google Photos does me dirty sometimes, because it can send me a notification and say 6 years ago today. And what's the picture? A family picture we took when we had just come back from church and we were at home, and we noticed, actually my big sister noticed, that all of us had a floral pattern. I'm going to put the picture right up here. All of us had a flower pattern to the outfit we're wearing. My dad was wearing some shirt that of Father's Union that had a couple of flowers on it. My mom was wearing a flower dress. My sister was wearing a flower dress. I was wearing some t-shirt of mine that had flowers on it. My little sister also had a t-shirt that had flowers on it. And we noticed that that was going on, and we took a picture then. And then Google Photos decides that the one day my mental health is in the gutter, it wants to remind me that 6 years ago today you all took this picture. Yeah? And then you fall into a slouch, which is normal. Because different things around the environment, and it doesn't have to be parental loss, it doesn't have to be family loss, it can be a loss of a cousin or a friend. And you get to the point of, oh, maybe there's something they used to laugh at, or a song they used to love, or a meal that they used to prepare. My dad used to cook, I think, till this day, I haven't had pork that tastes as nice as the pork my dad did. So it's those small things. It could be someone's laughter that reminds you of that particular person. And it's a recurring thing. And I can't say there's a standard timeline, because I don't think the timeline exists. I have a feeling you'll even become a parent and still remember some of these things. But taking time to understand that grief is you, like your grieving process is yours and yours alone. Yeah. So I think for further insight on this topic, I will continuously hint on this topic on my TikTok. It's not going to be a whole vibe. Today's a little bit of a downer. I'm sorry. It's not going to be the whole vibe. But I'm going to keep hitting on this, because I've realized from the time my friend passed to like now, even like, okay, my dad passed a couple years back, but then from losing my friend to like now, it's been, I think, 3 weeks, none of us have talked about this issue, yes? And I feel like there's somebody out there, maybe you're grieving, and you need some of these topics to be hinted on so that you know that, hey, you're Gen Z, but you don't have to be so nonchalant about the whole grief process. So it's going to be a recurring thing. Thank you guys for watching. I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode. But keep sharing some of my videos, and also keep liking them. I love the interaction that's going on TikTok. Y'all just be showing me love, and I am super excited to like move this cocktails journey with you guys. There's no cocktail today because I feel like I'm already mind fucked. But we are going to just keep the energy alive. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next video.
I've got doodles I've undone and doodles I've undid. I've got days I can't outrun.